live.
Hey people, it's my show. It's the Maserati Show.
Really?
Welcome back. I know that you're glad to see my beautiful face once again. I'm here another week, another gorgeous afternoon.
Oh,
I'm
smoke
here
went in
to
my eye.
sit in what?
Smoke went in my eye. What is with this long spiel you got going? And why it sound so hello?
Why do you always have
Why
all
it sound
these?
so hello, ladies and
Why do
gentlemen?
you have all these technical difficulties?
I don't
Smoke in
know.
your eye. You can't find a lighter. You're sitting on a lighter.
I know. I did have a lot of problems today.
Jesus.
I fixed all of them now.
You fixed smoke in your eye?
Yeah. It
Just
went
didn't
away,
want smoke in
didn't
your
it?
eye no more.
I didn't blow it. It's like the smoke is just like in the air, and like sometimes when you move and you blink, that smoke could get smokers know that smoke will get like just caught in your eye, like as you blink, and then it just be hovering over your eyeball. I'm your host, BLK Pepper Potts, and regardless of what he said, this is actually the show. Just say fuck it. Hi. See how that worked?
Lord Jesus.
See how easy I did that? Boom, boom, boom. Done.
I like that maternity shirt you got on.
Shut up. You only said that because I said that. Well, I managed to say it before you had a chance.
You want to tell us more about the shirt?
It was a shirt that I bought. I don't think it's actually a maternity shirt because this is a small. Like this couldn't be like a small in a maternity shirt.
Well, the fellow in your life be buying a Burberry shirt for the baby shower.
A shirt for me.
A Burberry shirt for the baby shower.
I don't. It's not possible. I was pretty much the jits to that. Like I told you, I ain't scared to say it on here. I will throw myself down a flight of stairs. This building will be perfect.
I always say that then you get attached. I just couldn't do it.
No. Hell no. You know how old my youngest is? Could you imagine? Ooh, Lord. Could you imagine starting over?
Yeah, I've seen people do it.
You ain't seen me do it.
I've seen a female, her kid turned 17.
Oof.
She was like, I'm not doing this no more.
Oof.
2 years later, got pregnant by the same dude that she wasn't even with. And had 2 other kids with and complained about. And I said, how did you start over?
Like, yeah, that's
42 years old when you started over. And your kid is 19 now. And you decided
you back to diapers and the terrible tools. And how old was she?
She was 40 something.
Oh my God, that's the rest of your life.
She's like 41, or she's a little older than me.
That's the rest of your life. By the time that kid get out, you gonna be almost 60. Woo.
It's always the females that say they ain't doing it no more, and then they just.
Well, I got my two sides, so.
Pop up pregnant.
Won't be me. It's gonna have to be somebody else, child, not me.
I can see them talk about it every single day. Man, I wish I would. I ain't about to go through this. Next thing you know, pregnant. What happened? Man, I don't want any goddamn stories. I don't want any goddamn stories.
Yeah, but I even said before, it's just, I don't know. It's like in this day and age, it's not like a bad thing. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I guess your first kid at 40 ain't too bad because you had up until 40, to just do whatever the things you needed to do. But
is it even safe at 40 to have a kid?
It is a lot more now than it was like with our parents, even and grandparents. Yeah, because I think, and then too, depending on your income, because your medical care is different. I think over 36 is considered something or other. But
it's what over 36.
It's a bigger health risk. I think over 36, but like you're okay. But the healthier you are, for a long time, you will.
They don't call that like geriatric.
Not at that age. I think that's like 60 and over for like those random women that end up getting pregnant.
I thought we said it was like 34, 35.
No. But that's what I said. Even just on our parents, since our parents, like it's healthier now for women. You're still at less of a risk. You're still a risk, but you're less. That's crazy though for women, right? You only got till about 36 to really keep it safe having kids. And then it's like anytime after that, the risk just like increase, 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 increase.
Yeah, your body's trying to tell you something.
Yeah,
Let's
for a
not.
lot of women are here and don't have kids.
Yeah, let's not do this.
A lot of women are here and don't have kids. Period.
You caught a crab stretching this morning, and you want to have a kid?
Yeah,
It's not.
it's probably
9 months.
not.
I don't think they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what's like my. I think by the time your kid hits like 12, it's kind of hard to have another one after that. Because my dad and my sister are 13 years apart. That's why the age for me is so thrown off. That my grandmother and my grandparents are just so much like we're older. Yeah, I mean, but you know what? A different time, different era. My grandmother loved having kids, so 5 kids to her. What?
I guess back
But
in the
yeah,
day.
that's what I'm like. Back then, that was cool because I don't know. We never really talked about it because everybody was from Alabama. For me, my dad was the only one that wasn't actually born down there. They moved up here not too long after they had my niece. Well, they thought they was done. Obviously, with your kids being 13 years apart, my dad came in and just stole like all the sunshine and everything. From you go 13 years thinking you about to be the youngest kid, and then here comes little brother. And they're born. Are they the same birthday? I'm pretty sure they're the same birthday. They're both definitely in September. I think they're the same birthday, and if so, I feel bad because I forgot to call my aunt this year. But I think they're the same birthday. 13 years apart, and he came in and just stole all your thunder.
That's harsh.
I'm the only child, so I wouldn't know.
That's harsh.
I ain't got those problems.
Too motherfucking harsh. I can't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't. I can't see. I could see past 1, but I definitely now can't see past 3. But that's because of how old my youngest is. Like my daughter about to start driving next month. Fuck. I'm so close to done. It's so beautiful. Whew. But I mean, hey, some people like having like a bunch of kids and shit.
Some people that still be talking about, oh, I want to have more kids. I'm like, I don't.
Like I'm good, man.
They're
just a lot of work. But then too, for some people, depend on their situation. Did the camera cut off?
Huh?
The camera cut off.
Did it?
Yeah. The screen went blank. Like we still got audio, but the camera cut off. I think I know why. Okay, there it goes. I fixed it. It disconnected on my phone. I don't know why that turned off. But what was we saying? Oh, it's just for some people they like having children. Oh, some women like being stay-at-home moms and shit. Like they're perfectly fine with that shit. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
It's also a sadder side to those stories too.
Is what?
It's a sadder side to some of those stories. Mental health wise. What happens is this. A lot of times people that have like mental health issues, they don't have control of their own emotions and their own actions like that. I should say total control. So what happens is when they have kids, they feel like they can have control over that. So that's the connection that they make with having those kids. So they continue to have those kids because that's the only thing they really have control over because
it's the children.
Because they're mental.
And then want more because every time they hit a certain age.
Because they're mental, they know like I want to do this, but my mental doesn't allow me to. Or I don't want to be sad all the time, but mentally, this mental illness has me depressed a lot. So they can't have any control over that, and they understand they don't control that, but they feel like when they have a kid, they can control those situations, which they in reality they can't. But to them, they feel like they can. They can control the child's happiness. They can control this. They can control that. But I mean,
I think a lot of parents in general like the controller. Okay, so when I was having a conversation with somebody, damn, I can't share this to my face. A couple weeks or so ago, and I was explaining like parents tend to just carry on traditions of what they think everything should be. So, like, whatever your religion is, that's pretty much what you're gonna have that kid be. When you think your kid should go to college, some even try to like dictate what they think their kids should do in school, and that's what I was really trying to like explain to somebody because I think like the topic was just period point blank. across the board how important it is to have your parents in your life. And I was like, well, we've seen some people do some amazing things and lack that aspect of life. And I was just like, at the end of the day, your kids gonna really be whoever they gonna be and whoever they supposed to be. Like, we can't really interfere with that. Like with mine, I'm not religious, but over like just before I think like summer started or something, my youngest, he got really curious about like God and church and shit. So he started going with my dad. Just because I have my opinions and things too, I wouldn't like stop him from going. I'd be like, no, you can't do that because I don't believe in these things. Like, it would be insane for me to tell him that when I would feel some kind of way when people tell me I have to go to church or I should go to church. So I can't sit here and tell him not to. Shit, I went through the experience and I still was like, I'm good. And I was in church a lot. Sunday, Bible school, kids, all that shit. So, and I still made up my own decision. So I think when I was trying to explain to that, it didn't really go through what I was trying to tell him. But yeah, like you can't. I think that's just how parents are. They think they instill these things in their kid. Of course, it's the good shit. Don't the things you shouldn't do, like don't bully people and put effort into school. But it's also how much pressure do people put on their kids. Sometimes you have to get straight A's. Well, not every kid. I gotta be honest, not every kid is capable of getting straight A's. And it's either not capable mentally, not capable because they're not keeping up at the same pace as other students. That doesn't make you less smart. That just means this student moves at this pace and you move at that pace. And it's just things like that. And yeah, a lot of times that's just how parents are. Is that control.
Oh yeah. Because they'll tell you, they'll say, well, that's not what I wanted for my child. And
Oh man. How do you decide? They're still a person. They're still a human being themselves. I think with mine, I guide them towards the things that I think they should do because of who they are. That's just how I view it with my kids. So, like my oldest, I didn't like try to force him to go to college. I didn't because he didn't go. He wanted to just like work. He didn't want to have to be bothered with going back to school. He was over it. But he also graduated in 2020. So I think with a lot of kids coming out of that hit a little. He was injured that year too. So a lot of the plans he had and shit, the things he wanted to do, just kind of just. And then now, because he did want to go, he actually did want to go to school. And now, like all that stuff happened towards the end of 2019 and then into 2020, and he was just like, I don't even want to do it now. I think not everyone needs to go to college, and I did tell him that, but on a person by person basis, sometimes I think some people need to go just for that safety net in life. And that's all I told him, and I was just trying to get him to understand that, and he just decided, work was, and that's cool too. Long as I can't deal with doing nothing, that's when it's an issue. If you're just about to sit around and just do nothing, that's when it's a problem. But if you want to actively be out there and working,
you don't want to do like 50 Cent's kid.
I don't want to talk about that. You are not
I'll
about to
get my segue.
transition.
Thank you, Ricky.
Whatever.
Thank you,
You're just
Ricky.
gonna force this topic that's not even on the thing. But all right,
we gotta talk about him.
go when you done started. Now you might as well.
Man, it's just, I just
Whatever. You see this? He get on my nerves. I don't even know how long ago that was.
No, I can't see nothing.
Oh. Did you really just get that close on the thing and look at that? Whatever. Freaking Robert.
I mean, my thing is this. And I feel like we just, as a society now, it's so, oh man, it's just so it's not even microwavable no more. It's just like 10 seconds. Our minds is just so, a person can put up something right now and be like, this person is scum. Everybody be like, they're scum. And somebody else would be like, no, 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 no. You misunderstood. They're not scum. What they meant to say was this. Everybody be like, yeah, they're a great person. Like, we just follow any fucking thing. So whatever you put out there, that's what everybody just follows. Okay. And with his situation,
though.
huh?
I said you are entertaining.
I mean, I like watching stupidity.
Hey, it's something. And then you know what? It puts some money in their check. But go ahead, get into this
But
thing. I ain't want to talk
my
about.
thing is this, you know, we act like we didn't see years and years of 50 Cent explaining everything that he did to be in his child's life. I called, I did this, I did that. His mother wouldn't put him on the phone. He said he didn't want to talk to me. I tried to do this. He didn't want to do that. I tried to do this. Whole time, he's paying $50,000 a month. She takes him to child support. We're going through this. We've
Yeah,
seen all of
yeah.
this.
Moving on. We talked about
Yeah,
this last week. Come
we've
on.
seen all of this, right? So now it gets to a point where, everybody's behind the boy. No, reconcile with your son. He's hanging out with people that tried to kill your father. Now the dude that took the picture with you is like, you a clown. The nigga that took the picture with you is saying you a clown. The nigga that you love.
Okay, but what happened recently? Because we talked about all this last week.
No, we didn't talk about him taking
Yes,
the
we did.
nigga. We didn't talk. The
You
person he
was
took
like,
the
you
picture
would
with,
never take a picture with somebody. Like, you would
but
never
they
do
didn't
that to
speak.
your dad.
But that person didn't speak.
Oh, is that why we here now?
Yeah, that person has spoken.
Okay.
And they called him a clown. They said you are attention seeking. They was talking about, why would you even say this? Why would you release our text messages? All this other shit. And I'm like, y'all didn't see this before? This nigga's been doing this whole time. It's attention seeking. He don't give a fuck about seeing his father, no other shit. It's just attention seeking. Now you see Supreme, his son is out here telling people the exact same thing 50 said. So now we finally get to the point where we're like, well, maybe he is attention seeking. Maybe he doesn't really want a relationship with his father. I think that at a certain point, man, we just have to stop following everything that we see and just going with shit and think like, are these people really telling us the truth when we see shit? If somebody says something, they'll just be like, yeah, we going with that. Well, man, we gotta start thinking a little bit deeper than the shit that they just put out there.
I mean, that's just how people are. It's election time. We know. I think for 2012 all the way through 2016, I think we was really like the highlight of how people operate when it comes to the information they receive when it comes to celeb. Obama celeb, Trump celeb. So yeah, when those kind of things happen, then people just gonna, it's really down to who you like the most. That's what it is. Like when that shit was happening with Nicki Minaj and Lotto last week. That's all it was. Here they go going back and forth. Personally, I think Nikki has, but I said this years ago. Nikki uses conflict with people as self promotion. But that's just how it's not just TV anymore. Now get advertised through social media. So this is what happens. You got these two going back and forth. Her and Lotto releasing recorded phone messages and DMs and things like that, and people engage. And for them, whether you agree with them or not, once you engage, that's money in their pocket. They social media platforms go up, and we know how people with enough following use their social media platform is business to them. So it's not the tabloids anymore. It's all on Instagram and freaking Twitter. That's it, and that's exactly what his son is doing. But like I said last week, shit, that's the same thing 50 been doing for the longest. 50 goes at people in some of the same ways that his son is doing. The apple don't fall from the tree, and that's it. And I'm gonna do my own segue. Kanye West ain't no different. Kanye West is no different. When Kanye West has usually something that he's about to drop and promote an album or things like that, that's what he does. But with Kanye is like Kanye's been telling us he's Michael Jackson for like the longest, right? And when you think about back to some of the things that we saw Michael Jackson through that was just wow, imagine if Michael Jackson had a Twitter. Imagine if Michael Jackson had freaking Instagram or even access to these things. And it's like for him, I can't wait till somebody tries to read Kanye West Wikipedia in like 100 years. That's just gonna be insane. Think of all the historical highlights and moments this man has that's gonna be included in all of these things. And personally, I get it. I understand some people want their names to live on forever, and in this day and age, it's not through war; it's through social media. That's just what the fuck it is. People used to win wars and collect land, and now is follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, catch my shade room. That's just what the fuck it is. But I was even just thinking when I was driving, like it's no different than some of the crazy and wild things we saw with Michael Jackson when he did outside of his performing. Um, I don't think Michael Jackson shows took the downfall that I feel like Kanye West shows did, but I see the similarities because I don't know if I want to say it. There's like other artists that compare themselves to Michael Jackson, but I don't see it the same way that I'll see it with Kanye West, and Kanye West makes sure he brings it
No, Kanye West has no problems.
up. Okay, elaborate.
Um,
First, did you watch the Drink Champ issue? Because that's why we're here. His show on, I think the Shot Pay they decided not to air it based upon what he said,
I
and then
think
it
they cut the
did
drink
one week.
champs too, didn't they?
That's what they said, but last I looked, the episode like it. But see, that's the thing. Once it's released, it's released. The other show never released it. You could go when they were saying it was taken down. Dream Chance perhaps took it down, but you can still find it. The clips are there, the highlights are there, and things like that. You know, come on now. Once it's, people saw it, people sat and watched it already. Honestly, I didn't see the point in taking it down. Now, I didn't watch it. I did see some clips, and there was more things that he said than he said about George.
George Floyd.
Yeah, I didn't want to say the name wrong. I just wanted to make sure I had it right. But yes, there was more things outside of that. Like he was saying, the anti-Semitic things that people were. Did you hear about that? When
I
he
heard
was
about it. I
like
didn't hear what he said.
anti-Semitic, he's like is rapping about gang culture and killing each other and things like that. It's like you can rap about that, but we've heard people say that before. I know a lot of people are saying, and I agree. Sometimes Kanye West say dope, amazing things that make you think, and then sometimes just I know the family of George Floyd was suing him for defamation. From what I saw from the clips, I think he like repeated things that were in this documentary. So honestly, like people was like, "Yeah, you should do it," and I'm like, "Well, if he was saying things that was in a documentary, and it's gonna be kind of hard to win that. I just from the outside looking in, I'm just like, you can't. I guess the people that made the documentary itself would have to be who you would go after because he said that George Floyd actually died from fentanyl overdose, not the cop. But he said it in relation to the things that was in this documentary that he saw, and I'm guessing it's the one that Candace Owens had, that Black Lives Matter documentary. That is my guess. I honestly, I don't even know which documentary he was referring to, but my guess is it was that.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think we've all seen the video to know that it definitely wasn't a fentanyl overdose that killed the man.
Hmm.
We seen the video. We
Yeah.
seen. It's not like we need a better angle. Like we seen the knee. We seen the man is in prison. Like
Yeah, multiple.
yeah,
Yeah.
the ER people came, testified. The people that were standing by, that was watching it live and in person,
Yeah.
they testified.
Yeah.
For us to come and be like,
That was in that documentary though.
even me saying Kanye West is wrong, my opinion is as important as his opinion when it comes to that because we weren't there. But people that came and testified in court, they were there.
Yeah.
The EMS people was there. He's the one like, dude, he died. This is why he died. So, for you to say something else, nigga, that's crazy. This arm testified in court.
Well, let's look it up. Why you going on? I'm gonna see what this documentary was. Go ahead, keep on.
Oh, I mean, that's it. Like, that's the only part that they kept showing was the George Floyd part. I was like, Nigga, he's in prison right now for this shit. Based on the testimony of the people that was there. They seen it. You tell me the EMS people was like, nah, it was fentanyl. They would have said something. Dude was like, he died because your knee was on his fucking neck for that fucking long.
You gotta keep going because I'm looking it up and also reading. Close that.
Yeah, you know, he was like for that long. That's how long he been. Right, you're the reason he's not here. We know why the reason is him having fentanyl in the system. You know, that's one thing, but that's like if I do heroin but I get shot, somebody be like, no, it ain't the bullet to the heart, it's the heroin. Nah, the heroin was in the system. The bullet to the heart is what killed him. If you didn't shoot him, he'd have still been here. He'd still been able to go out and do other shit the next day. Saying a fentanyl overdose or something like that, that's still, people have overdoses and can survive an overdose. Every overdose isn't um, fatal, especially when people are present. When you have an overdose, no one's there, and you just there and you overdose and no medical attention, that's one thing. But an overdose while people is there and you get medical attention soon after, they'll bring you back.
Okay. All right. So what this is saying, the documentary written by, it was the documentary that Candace Owens did on Black Lives Matters. Haven't seen it. Reexamines the racially divided aftermath following the death of Floyd, a 46-year-old black man who died while being restrained by former Minneapolis police officer Derek. I don't want to screw names up, so I'm not going to say it, but you see it on the screen. In police custody in May 2020. It says here, yay, and the problematic attention surrounding his behavior. All right, so here it goes. It says, Ye told Drink Champs host Nori and DJ Effin that Floyd died of fentanyl consumption rather than physical impact of the officer's restraints. They hit Floyd with the fentanyl. If you look, the guys, this is what Kanye West said. It's not what I'm saying. He said, if you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that, says Kanye West. They said he screamed for his mama, and mama was his girlfriend. Yeah, I did see that clip. Like, apparently, like his girlfriend, he calls, I don't know. Cause that was just weird. Like, I remember watching the clip, but to sit here and like, you want me to actually read this aloud just sounds kind of strange. An independent autopsy commission by Floyd's family ruled asphyxiation from sustained pressure was the case of Floyd's death. So that's what officially the autopsy that his family had done. That was his cause of death. Now wait, it says while findings from Floyd autopsy reveal 11 nanograms per millimeter of fentanyl in his blood, medical expert called as prosecution witness agreed the amount of fentanyl was not enough to be considered fatal. So they're saying like it was actually fentanyl in his system, but they were saying it wasn't enough to be fatal. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not about to try to make sense of it.
Video. Even if you didn't watch the trial, the testimony from the people that showed up and the people that was watching, they telling you, nigga, his knee was on his neck. That's why everybody was saying something. That's why people was fighting fucking mad. I mean, whoever he's calling out for when he's saying mama, listen, get some drugs in your system and let somebody choke you out. You don't know what the fuck you gonna say. You will scream out anything. Mama, daddy, God, you'll scream out Buddha.
Yeah.
You scream out anything. If you high end, there's no oxygen is going to your brain. Understand that. And y'all were talking about, well, let's be rational about what he was saying. With no oxygen going to your brain.
Yeah.
You want to
that's
rational about what's going on out your mouth and no oxygen is going to your brain. You screaming out for anything and everything. Help, please. anything. Jesus, mom, dad,
Yeah.
brother, sister.
Well, it was something else that Kanye West and Candace Owens, since the documentary that spoke about her, they wore White Lives Matters t-shirts a couple weeks ago. I think it was for like Fashion Week or something somewhere, something
They
around.
gave out White Lives Matter
Yeah,
shirts to people too, didn't they?
yeah, and people were mad. So okay, I'll do this briefly. What did you think about him wearing the White Lives Matter shirt?
I don't care, but I don't think white lives is in danger.
Okay.
I mean, they matter, but they're not in danger.
And that's what I said. I was like, honestly, for me, twofold, maybe even three. I was just one. I gotta be honest. We've said it on here before. Black people like to have something to be mad about. Two, why does it matter what Kanye West says? Three, some people were so mad. I had to ask, yo, you sure you feel like white lives matter? Because the things you're saying right now is kind of making me question. And I guess even for his kids, biracial, white lives matter to him.
Well, you have to understand too, with a lot of people, um, and blacks too, we are racist. A lot of us out there is right. Like,
I've heard some things when he wore that shirt. I'm like, yo.
I mean, shit. I posted up a picture with me and my female friend that was white that went to the same high school before, and people were saying shit and unfriending me, and I'm like, how did I offend you?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't ask a question, or you went right to the, oh no, nah, he got a white girlfriend. Let me.
I mean,
like, goddamn, like,
yeah,
I can't have a friend of an opposite race.
It's another one of those things that not that long ago it was found upon on both ends. Just one really got in trouble more than the other. The reason why I was like, yo, why does it matter what Kanye West is because sometimes the people listening need to understand you're giving the person power that's speaking. If you didn't care, or you, especially for people that was like, oh, I don't care what he says, I'm like, so why are you here? Why are you commenting on it? If it didn't matter, if you didn't give him so much power in the things he said, it wouldn't exist. What difference does it make if he says it or not? What difference does it make if he wears a shirt or not?
I mean, it's Kanye West,
So
he has that power.
over who?
Over the public. What you mean?
Well, then there it is. So, like I was saying, it's the people that listen that give him the power when he says these things. When people be like, "Oh, Kanye West has lost his mind," well, you validating what his mind is to be lost. Like the fact that you're engaging in it, he's not the problem. Is what I had to actually tell people. Like, it's not his fault. He talking, you listen. That's what.
God damn it, Ricky.
I know, right? It keeps shutting off. It's back already, though. Why you get up?
I need water. You don't hear my throat?
Never did you get up in the middle of the line.
I sound like Jay.
Oh my god! I thought she was about to do like Rick Ross and just let me sit here. Goddamn. Well, that was one topic. I'm kind of like already over starting the topic, and since you got up and walked away, I feel like I can just start another one just because I can. Oh yeah. All right. So earlier today, I woke up.
This is the first cup I saw.
Cup is a cup. I woke up and honestly, I just kind of chose violence. So I made a statement on my Facebook on my personal page, and I was just like, yo, basically, I was just like, boxing was dope until Floyd Mayweather ruined it with points. And people made valid points. I'm not gonna say that they didn't, but because there was so much validation on his greatness of reaching the 50, for the most part, that's what made him the greatness of reaching 50 and to reach it undefeated. I was just like, yo, I had to ask. You turning on boxing and watch for points, or you trying to see a motherfucker get knocked out? I personally prefer to see a motherfucker get knocked out. I personally prefer to see some good hard hits and not, dancing and just simply running around the ring. Because when it comes to points, you're it's so much more weighed on not getting hit and just landing those hits for points. Ugh. And just landing those hits for points. And again, like I said, people had valid things that they said. I'm not saying that at all. It was just overall, it was just so many things said. I'm like, yo, I prefer boxing. Motherfucker get knocked out. Like I prefer boxing when your face is bloody. And I just feel like if it's just it's so much about points now, I don't care for boxing anymore. It's not exciting to me anymore. I used to love boxing though. There's a slight bit. I wasn't like the casual watcher because my mother loved boxing, so she would like order all the pay per view fights and like all that shit. So then it wasn't.
Yeah, I got a dry spot in the back of my throat.
That is not
I
what
don't
we're
know what the
talking
hell.
about at all.
Like I feel like I want to cough, but it's like a dry cough. But if I drink the water, it's like the water ain't hitting like the spot I needed to hit, like in the back of my.
You got strep.
No, like it ain't hitting the back.
Okay, but anyway, Floyd Mayweather and was probably the topic, not that. That was definitely the topic, wasn't you not being able to drink water? So yes, that was my gist of it.
Oh yeah, all right. I mean, it's a double edged sword. You know, with boxing, it's this. Um, it came to a point where the way he did it, the way people, so it's a couple people that do it like that now,
That's a
but
lot.
it's better on their end, but it's not better on the spectator end because we enjoyed before when it was pretty much you wanted to knock the other person out. But what happened is we ended up with so many boxers that was fucked up in the head from getting knocked the fuck out and getting hit in the head so many times. Like it's boxers now. I think I seen like Ricky Bo was on Instagram and he was talking and I was like, is there medical help? Like
then we need to change it.
Like he was like his spur was.
Yeah, we saw Muhammad Ali. We know. The thing is, it's okay. So boxing and even football, to me, is good examples of shit, man. This is how the sport was. Like, yes, we are in a time where we know these things happen, but then just call the sport something different. Do you feel like boxing is like pretty much dead? Like boxing glory days is done. It's gonna be one of the next sports to just die off. Because I say yes.
I think somebody will come along and bring back this.
It's gonna take more than one person. Who we gonna fight? Or she?
Hey, we say that, but when Mike Tyson came into the sport, he was knocking everybody out. We was like, we don't know most of these motherfuckers he was knocking out. But it was
Iron Mike with these hard hits of hello,
but again,
KOs. KO.
But we said one man. But you said one man ain't gonna change it.
I still don't think one man would change it because it was Mike Tyson, but boxing wasn't that far off from, and it was more people doing Mike Tyson too, and also right after right before, so that was a little bit different. I feel like now, like we just.
Man.
Floyd is fighting Conor McGregor and people are excited to see it. That's how dead boxing is.
Who's gonna fight?
See what I'm saying? Take more than one person because you're gonna have to be able to fight somebody else that matters in order to bring the sport back. If you're gonna need a few people, you're gonna need more than one weight.
You only need one person that's exciting enough, and they'll bring it back because if you get in there and you're excited enough,
you know why? Because also UFC and MMA wasn't as popular. You can turn that shit on now, see a motherfucker get fucked up. Can't do that shit no more with boxing.
We haven't seen the person come into the ring yet.
You ain't now because so much praise still went into Floyd Mayweather when he did that shit. You got other people looking like, well, I might as well just win by points. Ain't no point knocking a motherfucker out now. Yeah, but like I said, but you didn't have the competition of MMA though then. So now, if you really want to see those things, like people even say now, oh, you don't want to see that, just go watch UFC. Okay.
Yes, but those
That's
are
what
little
people
dudes
been
though.
doing anyway. That's why this shit dying off. You remember how much pay-per-view used to cost for boxing?
Those are little dudes though. The big heavyweight niggas are still getting knocked out. Wilder
It
just
was
knocked
big
somebody out
heavy.
in the
It
first
was
round.
like middle heavyweight was like the thing to watch because they could still move around. Those big heavyweights would never, because they was just big and slow, and they would hold each other because
I
they was
mean,
tired.
because now all of our heavyweights is just big and slow and
Man,
but
let's just get into sumo
if
wrestling.
if if Wilder would learn defense and would move better, he would be a very exciting person to watch. He just don't have defense. I don't want to see you throw fucking haymakers and not block and
Why
do
my
shit like
legs
that.
look so long?
Nobody want to see that, man. Like, I understand it may work for you, but the first time you get into somebody that can box, you'll get knocked out again.
Oh,
So if he learned defense and he moved around more, he would
who
be an
he gonna
exciting
fight?
boxer. Huh?
Who he gonna fight?
But you get in there, you start knocking motherfuckers out in that first round like he just did, and you start moving around and showing actual skill, it don't matter. You knocking niggas out. We love it. We gonna love it. We
Yeah,
gonna love it. We a big black dude
yeah.
that's
It's
in
too
there
many
knocking
big
people out.
names on that other thing. It just is. It's too. They draw too much in now. That's like yo street dealer now versus the dispensary. Your street dealer is a dying breed. They're starting to make this shit so fucking illegal now. You're no longer needed, and that's just how I look at boxing.
I don't know.
Dying and
We always
defeated by Floyd Mayweather.
we always say something like that, but it's kind of like when everybody started smoking all this high end weed, and everybody was like, "Nigga, don't nobody smoke Reggie no more."
Cause
I'm like,
nobody smoked it anymore. See,
somebody
when people
smoking.
say that, they're talking about that fucking Mexican brick stems and seed shit. Like your local dealer gets
Reggie.
pretty distant.
Listen,
No, I
if
don't
you
think
thinking
that.
people ain't still making money
Because
off
it's
Reggie,
too easy to go to another state and buy that shit in so much. Ohio isn't one of them, but it's too easy now to just go and buy it from Michigan and bring that shit to it or any other state that sells recreational and sell it because it's so cheap. Like I said, the street dealer is once it becomes completely legal, the street dealer is done.
if you think for 1 second
I'm gonna tell you
Reggie
a
is
few
not making
reasons
money,
why. I didn't say it wasn't. I said it's dying. I didn't say it was dead yet. I said it's dying because your street dealer also fucks up. You gotta wait on your street dealer. You gotta go through hell to get in touch with them. You be sitting there for who knows how fucking long. When you can just go to the dispensary that's gonna be open 24/7 because they're literally like a pharmacy. You have to be able to have access to your shit, so they're open on holidays and shit like that. You can order weed online now.
that's true.
You
But
can some places deliver it to your fucking house, especially for those that aren't able to like get. They not dealing with the street dealer.
man, y'all think people really still going to all these dispensaries like that? Niggas is lazy as fuck. I know people that can get a dispensary card right now and they never have gotten a fucking dispensary.
But I didn't.
Nothing
We're in the
right
midst
there.
of those things changing. Again, I said dying, not dead. And
Niggas
there's
is
some people
lazy.
that still kind of like weirded out about it. They don't want about it shit because even like especially with our age, we coming out of it being so heavily illegal and so many people getting locked up and shit. Some people still weary on the shit. But I'm telling you, based upon the multiple locations of dispensaries in multiple states I've been in, those street dealers is dying. The biggest bonus, like I said, of that is knowing that your dispensary hours are. You're gonna know about how long you got to wait. They got fucking drive-through windows. Motherfuckers deliver that shit in some states, and all these different things that is killing your street dealer. They take debit and credit now. Like this is come on,
It's not killing no street dealer.
bullshit. You really don't think I child bye? They already have passed it.
I'm telling you, they're not dying.
You just think street dealers gonna be around forever once it becomes
I
legal.
ain't saying it's gonna be, but it ain't
Then
definitely ain't
they're
falling off.
dying. Then
It ain't
they're
falling
dying.
off.
Then they're dying. That's
It ain't falling
exactly.
off
You
now.
even got what was that state? Was it Washington or Oregon? Like legalized heroin and all this other shit. Street dealer. Find something else to do depending on your age. Or why not just get? You can't involved in living and having your own business. It was like remember when the casino started? Like right before they got here.
Let's time out before you start giving out bad advice. Like people can just be like, let's just invest in real. It's not that simple.
I know what it is. You don't have to explain. I said start looking into it. But you can even buy stock in Canada. Even if you're not opening your own dispensary. We had people on here before to talk about it. I didn't say that. Don't do that.
Listen.
Don't twist my words because that is so not what I said.
Listen, them street dealers are doing just fine.
They're dying. And you already said they're not going to be around forever, so that means they're dying.
Well,
that's just no other side.
When I say they're not going to be around forever, we talking about 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll start dying down, but
dying now.
As of right now,
how many people in Ohio have their dispensary card?
Shit, I don't
know. A lot.
But do you know how many people do I know that are street dealers? They're still street dealers.
Yeah, they still are. What I'm saying is you're dying.
How? If they're not losing money.
Who's not losing money?
The street dealers.
I know the people I used to go to when I had my card was losing money because I wasn't going there. The other people that I know that had cards that was going to dispensary because on top of that, you can get legit edibles, okay? The street dealers be iffy as fuck with them goddamn edibles. So yes. The one people that I knew they had a dispensary card means you're not going to the street dealer anymore, which means the street dealer is not collecting. Especially if you like was a regular customer and now you're not coming no more, you just lost money.
Listen.
Once you get a legal dispensary card, you don't bother with the street dealer unless for whatever reason you didn't get to the goddamn dispensary before they closed and you completely out. But that's not the regular customer no more. I just need you right now.
But trust me, the street dealer is still making the same amount of money they was making.
You can't be making the same amount of money if I don't come to you no more.
You're making the same amount of money.
You can't be. You got one less customer.
It's one less customer, but shit, you might get a customer that they put on hold and you like, man, fuck it, I ain't about to do this anymore. Because a dealer's a dealer. Sometimes they show up,
because
sometimes
I used to buy my street stuff. I'm back to it now. That's only because I ain't got my record right now.
You need the street dealer again?
Right now. This is a temporary relationship. Because you know what? And the one person I deal with, like, he cool. I'm not about to say that. But just, I'd rather be able to go 5 minutes from my house than have to meet up with somebody, wait and respond back to my text message, and all these different things that I was saying kills the street dealer. Like, I think I've said on this show before, like, y'all just don't operate like a real business. Now people can see the dispensary how this shit operate like a real business because they set up the same way, basically. So yes, I'm look. Was I get that card, man?
Listen. Street dealers are still booming, and Reggie is still selling.
Dying.
It's not.
That's the beginning of death.
I'm trying to tell you.
You already said 20 to 30 years. Yeah, this is the beginning of death. This is dying. This is the beginning of death. When we
20 to 30 years.
No, when we've seen a means to an end, I believe in 20 to 30 years, they will be because so many states are going to have legal recreational, not just medicinal. Legal recreational within those 20 to 30 years, yes. Ohio's gonna have it. The process was setting it up with medicinal. Now they know how to collect the shit, set it up to get the tax money, set it up for the grams. Yeah, and they don't have a choice. Why? Because like I said, some people just go up from Michigan. When you that close to another state that has recreational, you're gonna see it happen. It's only a matter of time before Ohio has not only recreational, but then now they'll start having competitive prices. They're gonna have to. People just go to Michigan. People don't even mind. It's just a nice little fucking road trip right on over to Michigan. No different than we've been doing before the casino opened in Cleveland and wherever else in Ohio. It was the same trip. Same city.
So in 20 or 30 years, that's when the street
is going to be
looking.
It's going to be, no, I'm saying in 20 to 30 years, there's going to be so many legal dispensaries, your street dealer will be dead by then. That's why I'm saying they're dying now. This is the beginning of death.
I don't know what the beginning of death is looking like. But
the fact that the state you live in, if you're a street dealer and you live, how do you think a street dealer does in Michigan?
I don't deal with street dealers.
But see, think about it. Think about it. Michigan has what? Recreational, medicinal. They shit cheap as fuck. They practically give the weed away. Why would I go to the? You ain't offering me a discount like they offering me. Do I get a free pre-roll if I spend this amount of money? You spend there. That's what I'm saying. Dispensary operates in such a way of business that the street dealer is not doing. What the fuck I'm going to the street dealer for? The dispensary just gave me a pre-roll for spending $100, and half of this shit was discounted anyway. So the $100 I spent was already me getting more weed than regularly. And you gonna get just because I come in on Tuesday, I get a discount. Your street dealer ain't doing that.
Yeah, but then you don't have a position like you in now where you back to the street dealer like, hey, listen.
That's only because, like I said, the state that I live in. Now, once the state that I live in becomes recreational, guess where the fuck I'm going? If somebody want to take a road trip, like, yo, I'm about to hit up Michigan, yo, let's go. You know how long it'll be before I go back to that street dealer?
I mean,
so yeah. Matter of fact, if I lived in Michigan, what street dealer for what? They got a menu.
I mean, that's good.
All these different strains. They got lotions and teas and drinks and edibles that work. Any edible I got from the street dealer was trash. Did not work. But that dispensary shit. Cause remember, like you would hear people be like, "Yo, I can't get high off of edibles and stuff." That was me. Because why? It was bullshit. I know people that sell that. What is it? That Delta 9, that over the counter shit. And they'll just call it infused gummies and infused food and things. It ain't the same THC.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Had what?
Delta, whatever.
If you got gummies from somebody that didn't actually, because now a lot of people repackage that shit like they actually got it from the dispensary.
I only bought like one gummy bear from somebody one time. I'll take that back. I have bought.
Ooh, you know what? I got another one. I got another one. The increase of your drugs being laced. They had that fake weed a few years ago, shit laced in fentanyl. They got test dates on there, grown by, sold by, all that kind of shit. You can't get that safety net with your street dealer. I'm sorry. Even if they smoke it with you, that don't mean shit. They might smoke crack.
Yeah, but that's still out there.
It's not. We've seen it highlighting. Remember what I was saying? If I was the street dealer, like the best thing to do would be have you hooked on my product and my product on you. And in order to do that, so you don't get that same kind of high from anybody else, your shit get laced with something. It may not be a lot. It's just enough to keep you coming back. Cause why you can't get that high? That other shit you got from somebody else, or even the shit you got from the dispensary, the high don't hit the same. Like I said, the beginning of death. How did we go from wherever we were to this though? What else did we have? I think we got one more.
Oh, DX versus the Backstreet or NSYNC.
That's so not what you said. You said Shawn Michaels or Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but it's the
Pick a
gist
struggle.
of it. But if I explain the gist of it, here's what happened. I was watching this video, and I definitely need to know where. I guess from maybe, oh man, it had to be maybe within the past few years. They had something where DX all came out, and they came like they used to. So they had them backstage getting prepared. They had the music playing. Road Dogg was dancing, and they had Shawn Michaels. So they had a little cart go out there with DX, and all the members was on there. And then they started showing all these like little clips, and they ran through these clips of shit, and they just had like the Shawn Michaels shit was crazy, like dude coming out the rafters on the little thing with the hat on, and these hoes was going crazy, and I'm thinking like, I know that probably in the fucking 90s and 2000s, this dude had to be getting boy band ass, cause it's no female out in this audience that ain't about to fucking faint over this dude. And he's just everything he do, just girls going crazy. Every time they show a clip, no matter what it could be him and Triple H. Whatever they do, Triple H do something. Ooh, ah. Shawn Michaels kick, girls going crazy. So I'm like, this dude is really,
when was
really
this again?
killing, huh?
When was this again?
It was a clip, and the clip started off with like.
Oh, you're talking about back then? Okay.
No. The clip started off with something recent because it was a clip of them like they was old when this clip happened.
And that's what I was gonna ask. What was the age of these women going crazy?
No, the clip started off with it was a recent thing of DX coming out to the ring because, of course, like some members had passed. Road Dogg didn't have no hair; he was old as fuck.
Yeah.
But once they started going out there, it shows like Road Dogg and the other dude doing shit. They go to Triple H and then they go to Shawn Michaels. But for the Shawn Michaels shit, like every time it's just girls going, like you just looking, it's like the girls going crazy. That's what happened. And I'm like, this dude had to have been getting fucking boy band ass back then.
Your question. It would have been Shawn Michaels over Justin Timberlake. And I say it would have been one over the other. One, NSYNC started when they was like teenagers and shit. So the access to that would have been different. Also, they really would try to keep that more hush hush in order to keep that boy band image. But if it's Shawn Michaels, and also it's personally sports entertainment, like especially then, nobody had cared. We had orgy and all that, but for them, I'm not saying it did not happen, but it couldn't have been on the same scale and on the same level. They wouldn't have been even like allowed that same kind of access.
Who, NSYNC?
Yeah. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying because they had to keep that image going. You also told this was like the time of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and things like that. Like they just barely sold us sex, especially versus the way that they do it now with the things that the artists that the teenagers have now. So that was easy.
You said who barely sold sex?
They just kind of put it there, but they kind of took it away versus what we have now. It's just there.
Well, we have separated Britney Spears from that because Britney Spears was kind of.
But they just kind of put it there and they just kind of took it away. So like her that baby that hit me baby one more time video, they put her in this little schoolgirl outfit, but you weren't really supposed to look at her that way because see, she was a minor. So they put her out there, but don't you look at her that way. You can't do that now. Lotto. Oh, I mean, hell, y'all want to look at her that way. Yeah, look at her that way. We don't care. We want you to look at her that way. Please look at her that way. But with Britney and Christina and Pink, it was still a little more hush hush in those times.
But Pink was grown though.
Oh, not when she first started. She was like 17.
She was 17 when her first.
Yeah, she was like a minor when she first started. Yeah. See what I'm saying? They kind of put it there, but you weren't supposed to. Well, I don't know. Maybe you got hip to Pink at different times than I did, though. So
her first big single was. That's what I got hip to.
I don't feel like looking it up, but I probably will. But she was, like I said, she was still like 17.
But I mean, shit. I don't think the term getting boy band ass is kind of one of the things where they was like, nah, I don't think today.
Boy band ass wasn't the same as rock star ass.
Huh?
Getting boy band ass wasn't the same as rock star ass. I put Shawn Michaels as the same as like the rock star. It was okay. You got caught doing drugs, whatever. Justin Timberlake, though, this is former Mickey Mouse Club. You can't do that. Shit, he can barely do it now.
I think that he was probably getting the same amount, but it was probably more cleaner type of.
And it wasn't you. As many people wouldn't have been allowed access to them as people would have been allowed access to Shawn Michaels. You can't have that out there. You still selling this goody boy band at that time. Can't do that. So that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have been able to be in the room with them like that to be able to turn around and sell that to the tabloid. Boy band ass is here. Rock stars. Whenever they fit.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to wait till a movie come out.
And I was just about to say they could have leaked a movie about it and it would have been okay.
I don't have to see the movie because I say the New Edition movie and them niggas was doing a lot. And they said they were doing a lot.
But you didn't have camera phones and the paparazzi and things like that weren't the same. I see. You didn't say them.
Well,
You
didn't
say them. You didn't say them. You didn't say them. You didn't say. You didn't say. New Edition. You said.
No, what I'm saying is.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because of what you saw them be able to do. Yeah. What I'm saying was just like I said with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. In their time, it was easier to have a camera in the room. Remember what I said? You weren't allowed access to them in the same way you've been allowed Shawn Michaels. New Edition, whatever. Yeah. Who's hiding? You know how big the fucking cameras? So it's protecting the image, is what I'm saying. It was easier to protect their image. It was easier to protect New Edition.
How big do you think the cameras was back in like 99, 2000?
Small as shit if you really wanted to screw over Backstreet Boys. Imagine them having a sex scandal come out. They're done.
I don't think people was
they would have been done.
I don't think
they would have been done because the way they sold that shit so fucking heavy of this good, clean white boy Christian image. They would have been a wrap.
You talking about a little camera at that point in time? A little camera at that point in time?
But my point is, it was easier for it to happen to them than it would have been for somebody to do that with New Edition. That is my point. And also, in spreading this shit, we still in that shit. You had TRL. I think TRL and the MTV News you would have heard about it too much easier than opening up a newspaper.
Nah, I'm not going to say that.
Opening the news. I know you never agree. Good thing that's the end of the show. Thank you for watching.
I had a camera, and motherfucker was not little.
This is Just Say Fucking episode S1E35. I'm your host, BOK Pepper Potts.
It's the Maserati show. I'm Maserati.
Peace of mind protection for all your protection.